Welcome to Ticket 2009. We're in Gold Coast and I'm Arzu from CEO Training, and I've got Erdal here from, well, he's an MCT, MVP, and he's an expert on Server 2008 R2, and we're going to talk all about that today. Welcome on board, Erdal.
Hello, Arzu.
I know I'm cautious of time, so I'm going to go straight into the topic. Can you tell me what is Windows Server 2008?
Windows 2000 Server 2008 is a powerful server operating system which changed many things in the IT world. It did separate different roles compared to the previous operating system. It has enriched many new powers.
Okay. I've been hearing Server 2008, and then I've also been hearing R2. What is R2?
R2 means revision 2. Now, when we check Microsoft history, usually R2 were minor changes or preparing the product to the upcoming new product. Like Server 2008 is already very powerful, and when we check the upcoming release, Microsoft usually releases operating system between 3 to 5 years. So, so we are just in year 2009 still, but Server 2008 was just 1 year ago. So what's happening? R2 with Microsoft done a big surprise with R2, and they entered many new features into the current powerful system. Basically, R2 is like a brand new operating system. Compared, same name, Server 2008 Server, Server 2008 Server R2, but R2 is in a much better position, and if you want, I'm more than happy to highlight the changes.
That was actually going to be my next question. What are the changes from Server 2008 to Server 2008 R2?
Actually, number one, 64-bit only.
Okay, is 64-bit new, or?
Actually, it's not a surprise, no. We know that Microsoft was announcing when Server 2008 was out. Guys, be aware, this is the last server operating system that we're going to support 32-bit. So, and they hold their premises. To be honest, even I was expecting Server 8, codename 8, I don't know what they're gonna call it, but Server 8 is gonna be different. It's gonna be 64-bit only, but they done it early, and I think Microsoft done a really good job, because we know that 64-bit is much more powerful compared to 32-bit.
Okay. We're talking about power. Obviously, that's going to increase core support.
Core support, yes. Let's make a comparison between Server 2008 and Server 2008 R2. With Server 2008 R2, Microsoft was supporting only 64 dual-core processors, where it has jumped 4 times actually, up to 256 now with Server 2008 R2. Basically, same operating system with the revision 2 has 4 times as power when it comes to supporting the cores.
What is that going to do to Green IT? You're talking about increase of so much power.
Okay, so Green IT, this is also the new feature from Microsoft, not just Microsoft, many hardware vendors. All smart people, they like the earth.
Of course,
is after Green IT. Later I'm going to talk about virtualization and how it's helped Green IT, but I can just easily tell. Now we got a brand new feature which is called core parking. What is core parking? Think about yourself. You got, for example, 5 cars, and you're gonna drive only 1 car at a time.
Yes.
What you do is you park your cars, isn't it? Where Server 2008 R2 does the same thing. It utilizes only as much as core it needs. Say, if a application requires 200 cores, it's gonna use the 200 cores and park the rest. So, what does this mean? It does mean the cores that not been used not gonna consume power, and Green IT is gonna come into the place. Also, what does it mean? What is if you require now more cores? Like when you drive, you have to park, go grab the other car? No. When it comes to Server 2008 R2, it's gonna happen in milliseconds. Once the other cores have been required, they're gonna be waked up from the suspend.
So it does it automatically? Okay.
Of course.
Okay. Can you actually talk to me about some other features of Server 2008 R2?
Let's talk about
who doesn't know too much about
we just talked about Green IT.
Yes.
Virtualization. Hyper-V. Of course, we are Microsoft side. Hyper-V. What is Hyper-V? Hyper-V is a virtualization technology. Again, what is Hyper-V new? No, it's not. We had it in 2008 R2 original release, RTM, but first it came as optional when it wasn't ready. You could download it via Windows Update, but now it has significant changes.
Okay.
When I say significant changes, it is basically now you can have a server 2008 Hyper-V server by itself and install the operating system on top of it, or you can just use your server 2008 R2 Enterprise, for example, and have Hyper-V in it, which you can install operating system, virtualize your environment, save on hardware, save on power.
Is there anything that has changed from the original Windows Server 08 Hyper-V to the R2 version?
We were talking about cores.
Yes.
Now, with Server 2008 Hyper-V, we can have more cores supported. Up to 32 core can be supported for each virtual machines. Also, when it comes to networking, yes, we usually get 10 gigabit network connections, but we got now TCP offload and Jumbo, which is gonna make the networking functions also easier. iSCSI, SAS, Fiber Channel, all this has been improved, and this is a perfect feature for the small business owners. Because usually small business owners, what they do is, they don't have the budget for licensing, they don't have the budget for hardware, they don't have the infrastructure for the server. What they can do is, they can basically buy the Server 2008 license with no extra cost. They can use Hyper-V, they can utilize Hyper-V into their environment.
Okay, that's pretty good from that perspective. I've been hearing the word live migration. Is this where this actually blends in with it?
Live migration. This is actually the perfect point to highlight. Now, what is live migration? There are some other virtualization third-party companies. They do sell virtualization technologies, and some of them were really popular in the IT market. They were in high demand, and usually the IT pros were comparing the Hyper-V regarding the third-party company, and they had their own I don't want to mention their name now. They had their own features where you used to say, you know what, we have this, what do you got? Instead of that, we got now the answer. Our answer for the third-party company is live migration. What is live migration? Live migration is basically high availability. What is high availability? Again, it's a new word, but we know it from 2003, 2000 as clustering. Now, what is clustering? Clustering makes sure that, actually high availability makes sure that the downtime is 0. What does it mean? Can you imagine you got a virtual environment, and what happened is your server fails down. Can happen. Say this is your Exchange server, or this is your SQL server, so it could, or your DHCP server. Is it which you can handle? Not for very long.
Okay.
Because that means all your network is gonna be down. What it does is it makes sure that this downtime 0, once the server fails, via the heartbeat records, it will check and bring the other server up within milliseconds. Okay. Again, live migration is built on top of cluster shared volume. It is supporting more LUNs, which is the logical unit numbers, and the very best thing is, this is not a live migration session, it's free.
Okay.
Free with your Server 2008 R2 license.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. A few minutes ago when we were actually talking about, you mentioned other virtualization products. I know we're not releasing any names from that perspective, but can you compare Server 2008 R2 with these other virtualization products that are available out there?
I think I just done it. It's free. You don't have to pay anything extra. Okay. You just buy your license, Server 2008 R2. Say, if you buy Standard Edition, you got 1. If you buy Enterprise Edition, you got 4. If you buy Server 2008 R2 Data Center Edition, you got unlimited virtual licenses.
Beautiful. We're coming to our final question. I'm cautious of time as well. One thing that I actually wanted to mention was PowerShell 2.0. With R2, is there any changes? Is it still supporting R2?
Of course. PowerShell 2.0 has many new features. Now, again, PowerShell is gonna be the new feature of IT Pros. Doesn't matter what you're using, Exchange 2007 or 2010, you have your Exchange Management Shell. You're using System Center, you got a System Center Management Shell. Or using your 2008 R2, you got PowerShell 2.0. It has been many new features. It's improved management instrumentation, more scripts, graphical user interface for the developers, which they can create their own debugging tools. So PowerShell 2.0 is adding many new features. When you said new features, I will also like to mention the file classification infrastructure, which is the FCI. What is that? As the name says, you can basically classify or identify where your file is. And you can change the locations without notifying anyone. Again, I have a couple of, I know the time issue here, I got a couple of documentation in my own blog, and I would ask the viewers to visit my blog, which is yourmct.com.
Before we call it a day, is there anything else you would actually mention to us about Server 2000? Really briefly, please.
Okay, let's Server 2008, Server 2003, Server 2000 users. What it is you had Active Directory users and computers, you had Active Directory site and services, you had Active Directory trust, you had many Active Directory site and features. Now, what Server 2000 R2 is, it changed the name. Now we got Active Directory Administrative Center.
Okay.
What is it doing? It is combined, it's an umbrella. It is combining all these Active Directory blah 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 functions under one hood.
Okay.
Now, probably you're gonna ask me, what is your most most level feature? Of course, I'm gonna, even if you don't ask, I have to mention that you should go in and play with Active Directory Recycle Bin. Yes, you didn't hear it wrong. Active Directory Recycle Bin. What is it? Now, we all using here computers here. Say you delete a file with mistake, and in your Windows 7 PC, you just go to your recycle bin and restore it in a few seconds. Think about an administrator. He's supposed to do some updates in the system, and he just pressed the delete button in an organization unit. You just delete the whole organization unit. I know. It's not which should happen a lot, but we are human. It does happen. You know what? You don't have to stop the services, restore the whole server again. No. Just use PowerShell 2.0 to install your Active Directory Recycle Bin and just restore your mistakes from the Active Directory Recycle Bin.
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
Which is, again, one of my favorite features. A few seconds ago, I mentioned Windows 7. Windows 7 and Windows Server 2000 R2 are best buddies.
Okay.
Basically, they work better together, and they have many cool features which works only with Windows 7 and Server 2000 R2. This is also another reason why our watchers should go and install Windows 7, like direct access. What is direct access? Direct access is basically bye-bye VPN. So VPN, bye-bye. I know you had your little USB stick with numbers on it, which you had to carry it with you when you're connecting to your corporate environment. Get it out, quickly type the numbers. You know what? This is all history. Thanks to Microsoft, thanks to direct access, they combined IPv6 together with IPsec, IP security, and has now much faster, much secure connection to your branch offices. Again, we have branch caching. I mean, I can talk for longer, but let me quickly mention also remote desktop services. You're gonna say, hey, is this brand new? No, remote desktop services is the old terminal services that we used to know, rebranded, improved features. If you still want to ask me another features, I can tell you remote server management.
You're going ahead with it without me asking.
I should mention all these because of the time. I'm just going quickly. What is remote server management? Remote server management is, again, with Server 2008 or previous operating system, we could just manage our own operating system, nothing else. Now, remote server management, as the name is mentioned, allows us to manage the servers remotely.
Okay.
Again, sorry, I'm jumping ahead of you because
Will
of
be
time.
points, yes, please.
.NET Framework support. Now, what is .NET Framework support? We have a great product which is called Server 2008 Core. Now, what is the core? Core was minimizing the graphical user interface and we're giving you less hardware requirements, less hardware requirements, hard drive requirements, and more security.
Okay. sounds
Now,
wonderful.
but there was again something missing. What was missing? The missing part was .NET Frame support. Basically, Core could not support ASP.NET. Now, it's
Okay.
there.
Okay, wonderful.
But there is a important thing. Till now, I don't know if it's gonna change later. Maybe in the future, I'm pretty sure. Server 2008 Server Core 2008 R2 still does not support SQL and Exchange installations. So, if you want to install, even though .NET Framework is supported, if you want to install Exchange in your core environment, it's still not supported till next time. Again, another new feature is IIS 7.5.
Last feature, please. We just need to make sure. that we
IIS
actually follow.
7.5. IIS 7.5 is adding manageability and security. Most of our users watchers are gonna remember the IIS 5.0 days, which were nightmare for many web administrators because the security wasn't the best. Where I can assure most of the users that IIS 7.5 gives the PowerShell, application security, and best practices analyzers to give the best user experience for the users. Alright, I'm gonna
I know
finalize
we've
that.
got so much to actually go on about, but we need to actually be able to finalise it. I know once I let all these MVPs into the room, they can talk to me for 24 hours, and I appreciate that. We need your expertise in that field, but we need to keep that with our session for now. Would you like to say the last words, and we'll finalise our session?
Go to msdn.com, microsoft.com or technic.com, or to your closest retail shop, and please, look, if you don't want to purchase, go download it, try it in your trial environment, and I can assure you you're gonna love it. If not, I gave my details already. Go to yourmcd.com, which is my blog, and I'm happy to discuss any questions with you. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Thank you very much for coming along. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and see you in TechNet Forums.
Thank you.